I like Red Bull.
Yeah,
People are like it's metallic, and I like it.
you think it's Stockholm syndrome?
Maybe.
You just drink it for so long, you're like, this is what I like.
And I've tried them all.
I bet you have.
Yeah.
You've been around the world.
Well, there was Cherry Bomb. I think it's like grenadine, some sort, Red Bull, and vodka.
Oh, yeah.
It's a pretty simple shot.
Yeah.
But we did Cherry Bomb challenge one time. Bought every energy drink at the convenience
I thought
store.
the challenge was like drink 10 of them or something. So
Oh,
you're
we
just,
did. We did.
But they're challenging each other
Just
to
to
see who
see-
would be the best Red Bull bomb.
Yeah, and we tried Monster, Nas, all of them, every one of them, and Red Bull is the king.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, cheers and welcome to From Behind the Barcast, the podcast for bartending, service industry, drinking, and general energy drinks, and not drinking?
Still not drinking.
Question mark. This week, as in every week, we're brought to you by Thai Bean Art and Coffee Bar. Warm up with a nice latte, cool off with a hot Americano. 4 shots is the way I get it. Little splash of half and half. Yum. Right now, I'm drinking some of their Dancing Goats roast beans in my bullet mug. So, check out Thai Bean Coffee Bar. Delicious. So, you haven't been drinking for the past couple weeks, but you would smoke Mary. I'm going to try. YouTube kills us literally now for the first 10 minutes.
Okay,
So I'm going to keep it clean for a while.
let's do it.
But outside of drinking, you will still go.
Yes, of course. Yeah, that's the one thing that's benign to me. It's like the one elixir, cocktail drug, whatever that it doesn't. I even put that before like cigarettes.
Yeah,
as
oh,
far
yeah.
as far as detrimental.
100%.
Yeah.
You're not wrong, and you're not the only one. It really like it's literally the least effective not effective. It's the least taxing on your body out of everything that we do.
Because
The food you eat is worse than the weed you smoke.
absolutely.
Pretty much for everybody, unless you're
Absolutely.
like purely growing your own food.
Yeah.
If you smoke cigarettes, that's 10 times worse than weed.
Yeah.
Drinking, 10 times worse than weed.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is like it's the
Would you
most.
call it
but not-
California sober?
Yeah, so only smoking, and I think you might be able to do fungus as well,
Yeah.
as long as it grows or something like that. You're California sober.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'd heard that term, and I thought of you. It was like a week ago.
Yeah.
Someone said it, and I knew what the term was, but since I had the connection with you, I was like, it made me. My mind went a little bit. I was like, so if you're California sober, what if you were West Virginia sober? Would that mean you just snorted OxyContin?
Or moonshine? Or I'm just drinking moonshine.
Well, that's Appalachian sober.
Okay.
Is you only drink moonshine. West Virginia sober, you only snort
I'll go
OxyContin.
blind before I worry about my pancreas.
Well, I told that joke to somebody the other night, and they go, well, all the kids are doing fentanyl nowadays. I was like, okay, what sounds cooler? What sounds cooler? Snorting Oxy. I'm not saying cooler to do, just in the context of the joke. Everyone, calm down.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but you've been California sober, basically, but you don't even really smoke that much.
No, not the way I used to. And even when I do smoke, I don't like smoking a lot. You know, it's just I don't need. I'm not compelled to smoke a whole blunt or a joint or whatever.
Well, I think in the past, I don't know, 10 or 15 years, if you're not a heavy smoker already,
Yeah.
it's been the product has been engineered as such where anyone with a normal head can get pretty lifted, man,
Yeah.
off of base level market stuff.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah. I've heard some old timers tell me that like it's way more potent than it used to be.
Yeah. I mean, that's always going to be the case with anything.
Yeah.
But now it's like the scientists have really gone out of their way.
I mean, you got some guys who really care about the end results. Horticulturalists, chemists, all that, brewing this batch of stuff that's, high tests.
But a lot of our friends who have kept up with the Joneses on this, now that's their baseline is such a higher level than.
Well, I smoke so infrequently, and it's not because I don't like it, as much as I used to. I still enjoy it, but I like the idea of maybe just 1 or 2 pulls. and that's all I need.
And that's all you need, because
And
guess what?
even-
My
so
other
even if
habits
it's
are very
brick weed,
expensive.
Brick CDS stimmy weed.
Yeah.
It works just fine on me.
Yeah.
You know, I don't feel the need to, you know, just chief away.
And every other one of my habits is expensive. Traveling to shows, concerts, spending X amount of dollars on beer and substances for festivals, concerts,
Right.
whatever, eating at restaurants. Like, everything I do costs a lot of money. So not having an expensive Mary Jane habit on top of it.
Yeah.
I mean, in the overall, I should drop everything else just for that, but I have tremendous panic attacks whenever I
if it
smoke.
doesn't do you, it doesn't do you.
Yeah, it's not fun for me. It makes me sort of not stupid, but maybe say dumb things like this guy yesterday. It was raining yesterday, and I tried to go to work. I went in early, but the weather was just bad. It was what it was. So I was standing out there, and first this wife of his comes up. I see him kind of out in the parking lot. The deck is empty, so I'm looking over my entire empty kingdom.
Yeah.
The deck is empty. I see this couple walk up. Tell they're not from around. You know, they're very looking at the skyscrapers sort of thing. And the lady comes up with a thick Boston accent.
Ah.
She's like, "It's too cold out here," and you know, I did a terrible accent.
Wicked cold.
Wicked cold out here, and I was like, "Where are you from?" Because this is not cold. Yeah. You know, it was like 55, 60 degrees yesterday.
Yeah.
It was just raining a little bit. You know, and I was like, "Well, this is the joke I use every time." I'm like, "Well, my heart's so warm I can't feel it."
Hey, bitch.
Yeah. So she laughs, goes to the bathroom. While she's in the bathroom, the husband walks up. And look, man, I know people have special needs and things like that, but this guy was not special needs.
Okay.
Except for maybe he was northern stupid. I don't even know if that's a thing. There's a certain amount of cityfied folk that like are just confused about things that aren't in a giant city, I guess.
Yeah, I see that.
So he walks up to me. He goes, "Hey, so what you got over there? Some shops? What do you do in those shops? You buy stuff?" I was like, "Is he doing a bit right now?" I said, I'm sorry. One more time? He goes, "Yeah, the things over there. Yeah, like the shops. What do you do? What you got going on over there?" I was like, well, typically what you would do is you'd walk into the place. If you saw something you like, then you would exchange currency with the shop proprietor for goods and services.
It's the private Huckapoo's Pizza Suite. If you want to eat alone away from the deck.
I get the feeling he thought we owned all those things too. Because if you're new and you walk in there, everything looks equally shabby.
Yeah.
You know, everything's made of wood. We all have wooden signs. Now, the shops don't have dollar bills and drunk people everywhere.
No.
But I was like, yeah, so see that? That's a hot sauce shop. He goes, "Oh, hot sauce. They serve. What do they got there?"
Couches. And
Well, they sell lava lamps. They also sell pet insurance. Well, and then I go, and then that's a pottery shop next to it. He goes, "Pottery? So where you got like," I was like, "Bro, we got to stop this." I go, "The rest of them, you'll just have to walk in and find out."
Yeah.
But I don't see this Boston guy really buying any. Maybe some hot sauce.
yeah.
So then he goes, "What, they got Bloody Marys over there?" So now that I'm thinking back, he might have thought they do sell Bloody Mary mix at one of our sponsors, Inferno Hot Sauce, Mr. Brian Hogan. If you ever want to get hot, go to Inferno Hot Sauce Emporium. Tybee Island, Georgia, right across the street from Huckapoo's. And so they do sell Bloody Mary mixes over there. And because this gentleman thought that maybe we own those shops over there as well.
That's fair.
But I still don't take back my assumption of him.
Yeah, I mean, I get that with Breezy every now and then. Someone will get, and it's not like is this all I do, but it's like, so do you do anything else but drive? Like, does Breezy do anything else? Like cook a hot meal for you or walk your dog? I mean, what are you asking here? Like, beyond just driving you from A to B? No, I don't really do. We don't do anything else.
What exactly are you asking for?
Yeah.
Should my last name be Bigelow to you?
It's just like, it's not like they're asking, is this all I do for a living?
No, but they're just wondering
what else does Breezy do? Like, are we caretakers? Do we change
If they really
diapers?
wanted to know the answer to the question, I think they're asking would be, do you guys do shuttles for events and things
I guess so.
But that's not what those people are asking.
I guess not,
Those
or at least
people
they're not phrasing it that way.
I wonder if they think if you're like a courier service for...
I mean, we are. I mean, we're many things to many people, frankly.
Maybe they want to smuggle guns or something.
Move a body.
move a body, maybe male companionship, or even female companionship.
Yeah.
Maybe they think the back seats lay down into a massage table.
Well, I mean, I've asked back. It's like I don't really know how to respond because what are you asking me exactly?
Yeah.
And it's not like, am I a drug dealer? Do I know what's up? Because I get that question.
You know
all the
what
time.
that question sounds like.
Yeah, I get that at least once a night. From somebody visiting the island.
Yeah.
But again, I never follow through with that, even though I know what's up.
Right, yeah.
But I don't want us to be known for that.
Yeah.
Like, hey, if you're on Tybee, call these guys.
Yeah. That's a thing too.
Yeah.
Because I've heard people be like, we heard this place to go.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool, man.
Yeah.
Like, well, so yeah, we told this was the place to go. I was like, you're here.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Yep.
No, but we were told.
Yeah, and I don't mind them taking their shot. I mean, it doesn't hurt to ask.
Yeah.
You take your shot, and you're either...
Because no matter what you ask for, I'm going to say no.
Yeah.
Even if there's a guy with a joint right there.
Yeah.
Ask
him.
Ask him.
Directly.
Every 25 to 30 minutes on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you'll smell it coming from a direction.
Uh-huh.
Then you just follow your nose like Toucan Sam and go down there.
Yeah. I mean, you can be wearing the right T-shirt, saying all the right things, but it changes the fact I'm always going to say no.
I'm always going to say no matter what.
Yeah. And even if they press, like, what's up. I'm like, it doesn't matter. I don't know you. Yeah. Just, you want to cut down the brass tacks? I don't know you.
I don't know. Yeah, exactly. We can make this still polite, and you don't have to get your feelings hurt by me saying, I don't know you.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say no matter what. How does that feel now? Yeah. We could be like, hey, sorry, bud.
Yeah.
But good luck, man.
Yeah. It's not what I do.
I hope you find your path, man.
Yeah. And they might. But like I said, it doesn't hurt to take your shot in another city, that kind of thing. I mean, worst can happen is they just say no.
I've done it.
Yes, I have done it too.
But to great success.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Because I know who to ask, not the bartender.
Well, it's like if you're at a show or something like that, I think you're in a group of like-minded people.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's a pretty good. You got a pretty good shot of
you've
off somebody next to you or whatever.
You're in a high success area there.
Yeah, absolutely. Target-rich environment. Absolutely. But just a random bar in some random city, even if you're there pointless. For a show. Yeah.
That's yeah, you don't do that. That's pointless.
Yeah.
So I understand why this mug here was at the Goodwill. I just like the cut of its jib and its size, but it's pure metal, so when I poured the hot water in it for my tea, it bumped my hand. That's good tea, though. Speaking of people on their path.
Hold it and warms up your hands.
Yeah, you're out there in the wilderness by the campfire.
Yeah, exactly.
It is warm.
Pull your sleeves up, around your wrists kind of thing, and hold it like that, like a girl.
Even cut the obligatory hole in them.
Yes, like a girl.
Speaking of people being on their path, I ran into someone's path today, just this morning. I thought it would be a good idea, which I regretted later, to have, like, instead of something savory for breakfast, at lunchtime when I went, I went and got a banana and one of those absolutely terrible, crunchy Nature Valley granola bars that literally just explode into... And I'm still finding them, like, in my beard. But on my way back, with my banana and Nature Valley Crunch bar in my hand, I roll right through a WTOC live read.
Oh, nice.
And I don't know if they were live, actually, but I hope they used the take. So if you look at the 6 o'clock or 6:30, I don't even know when news comes on anymore.
No, because it's on.
But WTOC, I'm in a pink sweater on my skateboard, really thrashing hard. But I was already past them by the time I noticed it because they had stuck themselves. Now, this is pretty strategic, too.
Wait, did you roll between them and the camera? Or
No.
Okay.
I was on the sidewalk
gotcha.
across from them.
Okay.
But but they were set up across from catty-cornered, as my father used to say, catty-cornered from the Choose convenience store. And there's a sign with, there's like a marquee sign over there for the shops over there. They duck behind the sign. So if you're coming from this direction, you see them. But if you're coming from the other direction, you wouldn't.
All right.
So I didn't see them from the first direction. I saw them from the second direction.
Oh.
Roll right in back of their shot.
Nice.
So hopefully I made it onto the news. Wouldn't be the first time.
Wonder what I always see them out here, especially WTOC. And I always kind of wonder, right? It's just raining. What's going on?
I don't know.
What's
Maybe St. Patrick's Day is coming up.
I mean, fair, but we didn't have our parade on Saturday, which was to the dismay of a lot of people. because I think there were people out here expecting there to be, because usually our parade's the week before the actual big one downtown.
Yeah.
So people come out here for that, and then the next week, blah, blah, blah. But I guess maybe because St. Patrick's Day is on a Monday this year.
St. Patrick's is on Monday this year, and Tybee will be having their festivity on the Saturday prior to that. Yeah. So it's normally a week before, I guess?
In the past, it always has been, yeah.
Yeah.
And people love to ask us, like, we have the,
like
the scoop. Like, I don't know.
Maybe that's the thing that they were asking, if that's what the other thing that Breezy does, concierge service, to tell you all the happenings.
Yeah. How do you not know what's going on?
Yeah, I know, right?
Got the finger on the pulse.
Right, yeah.
No, I don't. I really don't.
No, I really don't. And I can tell you that Brenda and her husband were arguing on Wednesday night, but that's about it. That's how far in the loop I am. Yeah. That's not specific Brenda. I don't know any Brendas, okay. Yeah, so
yeah, but
it could be pre-St. Patrick's Day stuff, or even pre-Orange Crush stuff, or the weather. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, usually, unless there's like a tropical storm, something blowing in off.
But they would have been further towards the beach, I think.
Or are they like a red flag warning, like no swimming?
Yeah,
because it's just too nasty out there for regular swimmers.
Well, we will talk about St. Pat's though, but here with St. Pat's, comes the season of the gigs. Musical gigs that I play, that I get to play. And this past Saturday, I had one of those. So on Saturdays, I have to get my shift covered if I want to, play. I was like, the weather being the way that it is, I'll probably make about as much from playing as I would bartending. But the thing I didn't realize was that it wasn't a 3 or 4 piece band this time. We added 2 more people. Oh. Because these people are rehearsing with us for the Eric Clapton thing, even though I refused to play any Clapton songs that night.
Yeah.
Well, not refused. They only brought one up, and I was like, I don't know.
Well, I took Brannigan up there because he wanted to see if you guys were tipping your hand.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he goes, I'm going in to make sure they're not playing any Clapton tonight.
That was pure... that was reconnaissance?
Yeah.
What an ass. Well, he doesn't have to worry about me doing it. You know what he said to me, too? He's the guy that's setting up this gig I'm doing. He goes, hey, sorry Eric roped you into this. And I was like, do you really know? Because he doesn't really know that I'm not like a...
I haven't said anything to him. He's brought it up a few times because I take him home occasionally, and he's brought it up like, you should get a ticket. And I was like, I'm going to. I'll pay, pay my way. And but he's asked me, but I didn't bring it up at all that your slight disdain for old EC.
So I was like, does he really know? But he's always had that relationship with me where he thinks I hate everything. Which, okay, look, there may be a nugget of truth. I can admit that. I don't like to admit it. I hate to admit it, but I don't hate everything.
No.
I feel strongly.
I just love that you and Rudy were kindred spirits on the way to Lettuce, and his absolute, probably more than yours, disdain for Eric Clapton. I was like, you couldn't be in a better car right now.
It's sort of my litmus test on whether I can be friends with someone. If I, because like I was watching golf yesterday, and there was a guy named Henley on there. I was like, I hope he dies.
Wow.
If he's at all related to Don Henley, then he should. Like that's just look, man. I just have strong feelings with things.
Hey, gotta draw a line,
things
man.
bother me. Yeah. It is what it is. Yeah. And it also ain't what it ain't. St. Patrick's Day. But so I'm playing the gig. Yeah. And so there's 2 more people. That's 2 more mouths to feed on the stage.
That's right. It's a flat rate.
It's flat rate.
Yeah.
Which is a good rate if you're playing with 3 or 4 people.
Yeah.
But I wasn't upset about it because the gentleman, Brandon, who was playing keyboards, who's also playing keyboards for the Eric Clapton tribute, he had snuck a sneaky saxophone over there.
Yeah.
And we were doing a song, Ain't No Sunshine, which I was singing. And after the first refrain, all of a sudden, like Baker Street, here comes...
I heard some of that.
Oh man, I was pregnant instantly. A few women out there were pregnant. There were snail trails.
Hot sax, man.
Man, there's such a fine line of good horn, and bad horn.
Yeah,
and it is a tiny line.
Yeah, I agree with that.
because and most people I've ever heard play or that I've played with, they're either all the way brilliant or hey, maybe play the flute, something softer, because it's also not an instrument. Because I played saxophone as a kid and I was absolutely terrible, and the only thing my parents could remember about it, they said I would do the tugboat chug or something, because I would just run out on the porch, hold down all the levers, just. I didn't know how to play. Well, I'd be in music class.
If it sounds like that, you really don't know how to play.
Exactly. I turned it into a baritone. It wasn't even a baritone sax. It was an alto. I remember and a kid finally called me out on it. Everyone would be playing, and I would fake blow. And the kid next to me was like, "Why are you here?"
You're like eighth chair.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's like, "Why are you here? You're not even trying." I was like, "I can't even read any of that stuff on that paper."
Yeah.
I still can't. I mean, I could look at it now and be like, "That's an A.
Yeah.
That's a G.
Yeah.
That's a G sharp." Or if you want to get pedantic about it, an A flat.
Nice
whatever.
Word. Good word.
But yeah, so that was fun. He playing the keys and the sax added a lot to it.
Yeah.
And then the bass player's wife came up and sang a little bit, and it's really nice to have a dynamic voice come up there, like.
Sure.
Because a woman's voice coming out after a bunch of men have been singing, it's almost like it washes the room clean.
Yeah, palate cleanser.
And more people take notice when a belting, female voice comes out there, which it's an attention getter. Which I was super happy to. I was very happy to have that there.
Right.
But as always, we come upon. Probably our most. It's not even necessarily a holiday because most people around here aren't actually Irish.
No.
But everyone claims some sort of Irish heritage.
I mean, my name's Kelly. I
Kelly.
get it all the time. And it's just a family friend. That's all it was based off of.
Yeah.
I like to consider myself Irish occasionally. Yeah.
But
not the way I used to be. I can't drink the way I used to. But yeah, I get asked that a lot. Being named Kelly. Well, you must be Irish. You must really enjoy this march. And I'm like, no, it's just family friend. Just one of these things. Friend of my dad's.
But everyone, subjugates Irish heritage.
Sure. Hey, man, May 5th, we're all a little Mexican.
Right. Well, it's almost like Pirates Fest out here. It's like if I dress up like a pirate, I can act drunk and act like an asshole.
Sure.
And that's just what it is. So on St. Patrick's Day, you just dress up as an Irish, which I take a lot of offense to this. Okay? I'm offended. I'm offended.
Easy.
You put on your red beard. I have a red beard. You're red facing. You cannot go red face. You've offended me.
Oh, the swollen leprechaun over there. I got stung by a bee.
If that's not the name of a pub already, the Swollen Leprechaun, somebody's messing up. And if that hasn't been my nickname already, even though I have no Irish heritage whatsoever inside of me, and don't pretend to, the Swollen Leprechaun.
I got bit by an ant.
I can't even spell leprechaun, but I'm writing it down.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Good grief. You absolute swollen leprechaun. But, people claim to be Irish. Well, I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is a large, percentage of, or an amount of people in Savannah who are actually Irish heritage.
Sure, yeah. The whole parade's a bunch of families walking down the street.
Yeah, and they're all the O'Connors and the so-and-sos, right?
Yeah.
Because I get it. But anyone who I know that is like super truly Irish is the least wasted on St. Patrick's Day.
Okay.
They're just kind of like, hey, well, this is another day for an Irish family.
Yeah.
But other people, and which is almost totally pointless to go downtown anymore, even to see the parade.
I haven't been downtown in years.
Unless you have such intestinal fortitude or bladerial fortitude. I have to pee when I drink.
Yeah.
But then that inherently becomes not such a problem because you can't get a drink anyways because everything's so busy.
Yeah.
So then you don't have to pee. Then you've got traffic going out of there.
There's a bunch of reasons not to want to be down there in the mix, And when I was going to SCAD, I was down there. It was during our spring break. We'd have to have 2 shifts of people coming in like move them out on Wednesday and have another group come in of 10 to 20 people
Yeah.
crashing at our place. And so I did it, and this was back before wristbands and, cordoned off parade routes and all that sort of stuff. Like River Street was the place to be. It was packed like you were down in the pit at a Bass Nectar concert. It's just not like that anymore, I don't think.
Well, it was still, back then, it was still, because we've always been Savannah has always been in the top 3 of like size and of celebration.
Yeah.
I think we teeter back and forth with like Boston maybe for the 2 spot.
That's what I've heard, yeah.
So an influx of twice our natural populace is pretty taxing on everything.
Yeah.
Traffic wise too, whatever, but
Yeah.
so it's just such a hassle now to go down there. And now it is wristbanded but I think this year they said, and we'll find out more next week, but I think they said that they're shutting down River Street completely. Like no vendors or anything like that.
Okay.
So Bay Street will still be going, I think, and then the parade route, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, the last time I was down there, me and a buddy got our bikes because he lived over kind of near Forsyth Park, so it was kind of an easy in, easy out car wise because of where he lived. And then we just jumped on our bikes and rode down there, which was a great way to get around the mix down there on a bike. And we went down to River Street, we went to McDonough's, and I'm not saying it was a ghost town, but there was hardly, it wasn't like it was 20 years ago,
Sure.
25 years ago. And just, I don't say they took the air out of the whole thing, but it's just not the same as it used to be. And I think to take some of the debauchery out of it. Like people having sex in the bushes and stuff. These are very real things. People peeing everywhere against any wall they could find, that kind of stuff. So, I'm not saying I liked it better when it was dirty, but I liked it better when it was dirty.
Yeah,
a little rowdier.
Yeah, but you can be rowdy with less people and it's fine, but then add more people being more rowdy, I guess.
Yeah.
And then it's just like any other big event, like, well, whatever's going on, people peeing on the streets, fornicating, whatever.
Yeah.
No matter how many cops put down there, they're not going to catch them all because there's 2 guys standing next to each other, both smoking weed. The cop goes to get one, the other one's going to get lost in the crowd.
Sure.
So it's sort of like, it's just a dumb back and forth.
Peeing in public's got to be like the main thing.
100%.
It's got to be a boon.
And I think normally it's like a sex crime charge or like a
Exposing yourself. Or
yeah. But I think they squashed that for St. Patrick's Day. They're like, all right, they're just peeing outside.
Yeah.
Because everyone has to.
Yeah, God. You see a porta potty with 30 people in line, girls and guys.
Yeah.
You ain't. Especially by the time you decide you have to go pee, it's almost the horse has left the barn at that point.
Yeah.
It's like you don't have time to wait another 30 minutes if you're lucky.
Bro, yeah. And I've had the experience. I'll put a link to that clip of my St. Patrick's Day poop story, but I have another St. Patrick's Day story. I clipped that St. Patrick's Day poop story out a long time ago. I've told it twice on the podcast, so I'm not going to tell it anymore.
Yeah.
But I do have another story, St. Patrick's Day. This was before the poop story happened. Okay?
Okay.
I'm downtown. I'm probably 23, 24. That's years ago. And I wasn't partying super hard. I was just down there because me and my buddy were more down there for the spectacle of it because it still wasn't like it is now. But it was kind of like a go look for girls expedition.
Okay.
Which is 90% of what men do anyways,
Sure.
for anything. I didn't start playing drums because I love music. Yes, I did. But, so I go down there but once I'm down there, it's just so much going on that it's like, even trying to shoot a shot at anyone.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of just walking around the band, the outdoor band stopped playing at like 8 or 9. I'd been out there all day. I wasn't wasted or anything, but I was like, I had a few.
Yeah.
And I'm walking by and I see a girl friend of mine that I knew from St. Simon's that I hadn't seen in 2 or 3 years since I had left. And I said, hey, what's happening? She goes, hey, what are you doing? I was like, nothing. She goes, I'm about to go back to Ponte Vedra.
Oh.
Do you want to go?
Sure.
I was like, can we stop by my house and grab my backpack and put some clothes in it? She goes, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So we start driving. I don't know where Ponte Vedra is at this point. So it's in Florida.
It is. Yeah.
We are in Savannah.
Uh-huh.
I woke up in Ponte Vedra in her truck. Oh, she goes, we're here.
Yeah.
Okay. So we go in, we continue to party, whatever, fall asleep. Woke up the next day. She goes, hey, let's go out to the beach. Now, So we pull out and we start to drive to the beach, which this is the first time I'd ever been to Ponte Vedra. We passed TPC Sawgrass.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, we drive down what seems like, the old country roads with southern roads with all the Spanish moss trees, encasing it.
Yeah.
Well, instead it was like sand dunes covered in green things.
Okay.
And we're traveling down this corridor that seemed like almost to nowhere. And then we pull off, opens up into a beach with a giant dune shelf all the way down with red shells all over it.
Oh, wow.
It's misty and gray outside. It's surreal. And I'm with a beautiful girl whom I loved back then.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely surreal. So we get at the bottom of the shell shelf. We throw down a towel and we're sitting there enjoying the waves crashing in. Not a soul out there.
Nice.
60 degrees, cloudy, but beautiful.
Yeah.
Mist all across the beach. All of a sudden, here come two fucking horses. Two.
Like wild horses?
Next to each other. No saddles.
Huh.
No collars. I don't know if they put collars. So it's like, are those two? And then two other horses came up behind them with riders on them.
Yeah.
So I guess they were just outrunning all their horses, but these horses were so domesticated and polite.
Right.
So I was like,
Isn't there that island, or is that in Georgia, where they have all the wild horses?
ooh, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
No, I
You're
was
in
on
Florida at this point.
Fripp Island recording an album for a band, and they had just friendly deer that were out
Oh
there.
yeah.
But yeah, so this whole surreal thing of waking up, I woke up in Ponte Vedra, and the red shells that were on the shell shelf on this dune, it was magnificent.
It sounds like it.
But I wish the two people wouldn't have ridden up behind the horses on their horses, so they would have been the actual Rolling Stones wild horses.
Yeah.
But,
It's still cool. It's still cool though.
Still pretty
Just seeing
cool.
horses
man.
on the beach, period.
Yeah.
Whether they're being ridden or not.
You know what's really cool? Her driving me there and back.
Didn't leave you there?
Well, the thing was, it's not a short trip from here.
Drop you off at the Greyhound station. Yeah.
Not short trip from here to Ponte Vedra. That's either between Brunswick and Jacksonville or past Jacksonville. I don't even.
I think it's. Yeah, I'm not going to get into
I still
that.
don't know.
I think it's past Jacksonville. It's got to be.
I still don't know.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Well, this is going to be a shorter episode, but I do have a Karen.
Okay.
Oh shit.
It's
the Karen of the week. It's the Karen of the week.
Oh, shit. My Karen is an organization.
Okay.
The Academy Awards.
Oh boy.
And I don't care about any of the movies. I don't care who won and lost.
Couldn't tell you.
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
But I do have a problem with the Academy because I just learned this the other day. Hans Zimmer, you know him.
Yeah.
He doesn't need another Oscar. I don't even know if he has any. He doesn't need any professional accolade for us to know how great of a composer he is.
Yeah, he's up there in John Williams territory.
Probably
Or the new John Williams.
The new John Williams. He's probably the only thing even relatively close to,
Yeah.
John Williams will always be the GOAT, obviously. It is what it is. Well, he was disqualified, Hans Zimmer, for best score for Dune 2 because technically, and I don't know if this is a clerical error or just a loophole that needs to be tightened up. Dune 2 is the ending to the arc of the Dune story, correct? Or part of it?
It's part of it. Yeah, they're going to make a third part.
Okay, so it's a part of the arc. It's a part of the arc,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Since it was considered a sequel, Dune 2,
yeah.
since it's considered a sequel, because he used character themes, which is, the music he writes for each character.
Right.
Since the same characters are in the next movie, he's disqualified from getting best score because he used material he had already written from the first film.
Huh.
And it's because it's called Dune 2.
Interesting.
The first movie were called Dune, and the second movie were called Dune Attack of the Sandworms,
Yeah.
or whatever.
Huh.
So it seems like a gross oversight. Now, I haven't seen Dune 2,
Yeah.
but I'm sure the music's probably great if Hans Zimmer did it.
Yeah, it is.
And I'm sure no other movies like, Leia's theme, and what if you never heard it in the following movies?
Yeah.
You know?
It used to be back in the day, the Oscars was appointment viewing. And it's not because I saw every movie that was up for Best Picture or anything like that. But I guess the internet wasn't quite what it is now, obviously. And so, that Sunday night, people have Oscar parties, get all dressed up. There'd be like events in Augusta that'd be sponsored. You get all dressed up and walk the aisle and get your picture taken and all that shit. But this year, as I was kind of looking, I couldn't tell you three-quarters of who was up for whatever, I was completely out of touch with. Never heard of the movies, and I'm not saying it has to be a blockbuster thing to warrant being up for Best Picture, because it's not a money grab kind of thing. But it was all, without getting too much into the DEI part of it and whatever, it seemed like it was just art house films.
Right.
I'm not saying they didn't have merit, but I was like, I've never heard of any of these things. Maybe because they only made $11 million.
Right.
And again, I'm not saying if it's $200 million like Titanic or $1 billion, it deserves it. But I didn't know any of the pictures. Outside of Dune, maybe a couple of others.
We're not a movie-going audience in it. We're not a movie-going country anymore.
No.
But to get me off of my ass to go to a movie, it's got to be like IMAX 3D Oppenheimer. Yeah, sort of thing. Or for even young people, it's got to be, Avatar 4.
Yeah.
Or one of the Marvel movies where it's like a big spectacle.
Yeah.
We don't typically, because, and like you're saying, back in those days, the 6 movies that were up for Best Picture, you knew them because one of your friends went and saw at least one of them.
Right.
In your Titanic days. Those years of like when year 2000 was like Training Day, Gladiator, all these movies that everyone had seen because they came out spread out during parts of the year.
Right.
Now, the same year that Gladiator came out, Office Space also came out, which did $8 million in the theater versus the $200 million that Gladiator did.
Yeah.
I think are both equally good films.
Oh, absolutely.
But if you're like, oh, well, nobody saw Office Space, it's like,
they have now. It's a
buddy.
cult classic, and it still resonates today. It's still
holds
just
up.
as good as it. Yeah,
still
absolutely,
holds up.
Absolutely.
So but we're just not a movie-going country anymore.
No, not when you have a big 70, 75-inch TV at home.
And every service has, I would say, your Amazon Primes and your Netflixes and your Hulus make just as good movie productions and television show productions
these days. Yeah, absolutely.
As the big blockbuster films. So the only reason to go out to a theater now, and like you said, 70-inch screens with surround sound.
Yeah.
The only reason to go out to a movie now is if there's like a very specific spectacle of it.
Yeah.
Like,
my mom still loves to go. She loves the matinee. It's $3 and you get, mom's all about a good deal.
Yeah.
And the last movie I saw in the theater with Martin, we went and saw Maverick. That deserved to be seen and big.
Sure.
Because it looked great, it sounded great and all that. But as far as like even Dune, which I thought this would be fun to watch in the big screen. Oppenheimer would be fun to watch.
Yeah.
Even though it's not a fun movie, but you think, all right, big spectacle.
Yeah.
I want that. But it's so easy to just sit on the couch, have the fridge right there, whatever you want, just an arm's reach away.
Because I don't care if they charged you $20 to watch Dune 2 at your house.
Yeah.
Like if it wasn't already on just Netflix waiting for you.
It is now.
Yeah. If they did charge you $20, that's still cheaper than the gas, the popcorn, the soda, and the movie ticket to go out and see it.
Yeah, if we were gonna go out to Pooler to see a movie, we're going bowling. We're doing something else, ancillary to going to see the movie. It's like we drove an hour. Let's and talk about Calorie Corner. Pooler's got every damn.
We're going to the water park first.
Yeah, exactly.
Then we're going to the Swollen Leprechaun to get a Scotch egg.
Dust off the chalet.
And some Lagavulin 16.
Yeah.
And then we're going, to see it. Oppenheimer. Oh yeah. So do you have any plans for St. Patrick's Day this year?
No. I work Saturday like I always do. Sunday I work, and then Monday I'm off. But I have no inclination to go downtown.
So that Monday I agreed to work for one of my coworkers.
Yeah.
And then I got offered a gig to play on that day, Monday morning, out in Hilton Head.
Huh.
But now I'm thinking, like, to get to Hilton Head, you got to go through the shit of St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah,
so I was like, what? Can we even play the gig if I were to take it?
Yeah, you probably have to go down Victory just bypass the whole thing.
Good grief.
Take Victory to 16.
Oh, yeah. But, I'm going to, I got to cut this short. I got to go to a rehearsal for the Eric Clapton thing. But when I get back home tonight, I'm going to do a personal Patreon for you guys.
Sweet.
But, we'll talk about the state of the network, basically, the state of the studio. And, but yeah, thanks for listening again this week. We hope to see you every week. And I'll see you on the Patreon.